So thank you again for coming on. And I've done a couple videos on you already,
Mhm.
not too in depth, but it was me copying what you promote. And so for people who don't know what that is, can you do a brief foundation of what your diet and lifestyle is?
Currently, because it's transitioned over the past couple of years. So in
Yeah, let's
comparison.
go current, and then we can talk about maybe the baby steps because I have a feeling people need the baby steps to where you're at.
Okay, well, currently at the moment, I've been on a mucusless diet for well over 2 months now in a row, which is basically a diet based on fruits and non-starchy vegetables, fat-free fruits, non-starchy vegetables, leafy greens, whether cooked or raw. So that's currently what I've been doing for the well over 2 months now. And yeah, really, really enjoying it. Feels really good.
That's amazing. That's actually a really incredible feat. And what I like about what you do differently is you got your raw foodist. And I think what makes that hard for somebody like me is the fact that you don't cook anything. And I think
Mhm.
your cooked vegetables make it so much easier.
Massively, massively. And
Yeah.
that's what I found during this transition, that part of me feared, not feared, I just the idea of going fully raw, never being able to cook anything was very daunting.
Right.
But the idea that I could still cook up some like vegetables, mushrooms, broccoli, asparagus, pak choi, and put it over a big salad, that sounds like an easier step than just going all the way in. Mm.
Absolutely, it does. And is that why, and this is just me gearing up for anybody else that doesn't know,
Mhm.
you've got these baby steps to get there. And I know that big, I don't know if this is the first baby step, but you always, when I first found you, was promoting fruits, roots, and greens.
Mhm.
So is that like the before mucusless, or how would you go about getting to the point where you're at?
Yeah, well, the fruits, roots, and greens is, in my opinion, at the doorstep of like a fully mucusless diet, fully fruit-based lifestyle. Because over the past couple of years, all the different sort of foods I used to eat and I've transitioned off, I find potatoes, root vegetables, things like pumpkins and squash and sweet potatoes and even regular potatoes is far easier on the body and very similar to fruit in comparison to all the other starches that you can get out there, especially because of the vitamin C content, the vitamin A
Mm-hmm.
content, the water content of potatoes, just the volume. And so in my body, I'm like, this is the closest thing to doing a fruit-based lifestyle, like fully, like just fruits and greens, but while still consuming some starches and stuff. So that's what I recommend. Of course, you can go the route of, just taking what you eat and just trying, looking for the next better option.
Right.
If you're eating a lot of, junk food, maybe you can go to maybe like grains and pasta and just a regular whole food plant-based lifestyle. Or just find ways to clean it up, maybe do oil-free. But based on just how people respond to potatoes, you could just jump straight into fruits, roots, and greens and
Mm-hmm.
then work that for a while
Yeah, it's so
uh,
true.
before you go all the way into like just doing fruits and greens only.
So for somebody like me,
Mhm.
you're going to see people that might say, well, I already feel good. So why would I go to your extreme? And I know
They
you're
they
going to be
don't
like,
know
but
what
you
they're
don't
missing.
know. Right.
They do not know what they're missing.
So I'm at that point where I'm like, you know what? I got to do this, but maybe
Yeah.
I need to challenge myself to 3 days and then a week or, like that's my new baby step. I got to like add another day every time.
Yeah, I feel like if someone's already doing something similar to a raw to four, then a step up from that is just increasing the amount of mucusless or days where they're just on fruits and greens, or increasing the amount of raw days where they're just living on 100% like raw fruits and greens. And they'll find that if they do 1 day per week, like and do that for a year, their body and system will get used to that. And what I found along my journey was that by the end of that first year, I I really did not want to miss that day. Like I genuinely did not want to miss that day. And whenever I increased it the next year to 100, I felt so bad whenever I missed those 2 days. So your system is slowly adapting. Like I like it here, and this is
Hmm.
what's happened to me over the past 4 years as I just increase my numbers. It's just gotten easier and easier.
I think for some of us that still haven't even completely gotten rid of any of the ultra processed in our diets, the
Hmm.
only thing I can kind of liken that to is I don't go out to eat unless I'm getting a smoothie bowl. So if there's that one rare occasion and I don't know, my daughter's having a birthday and we're doing vegan pizzas for the party and I
Hmm.
have a slice of pizza, which I really don't like to do anyways. So
Hmm.
I'm there. I'm like the baby version of you. But when you have that, you feel it right away in your gut, and even the next day, you just feel puffier. But you right away, my stomach just starts to hurt. So,
Hmm.
is it kind of like that when you go back to having any like even whole rice, like whole brown rice, or any of the other grains or beans, even?
Yeah, that's actually been my experience because a lot of the things that I used to eat and promote, if you watch my videos from the past, you're like, this guy's just eating all sorts of whole food, but like clean. It was still like clean whole food, plant-based, like rice noodles and going out to eat, but like it's very clean like dishes. But what I found is that as your system adapts to living on just, mainly like fruits and greens raw, it starts to become really sensitive to the things that aren't supposed to be inside you. It starts to
Yeah,
become really aware of just how things just make the body feel and the subtle change and even the bowel transit time of a meal. You'll go a couple days eating fruits and greens and you start seeing your digestion is just like flowing very like smoothly and efficiently. And then you'll go back to what you would normally eat, even though it's like clean, whole food, plant-based, like sort of like beans or like grains and stuff. And then you'll just notice your digestion just change up a lot and how you feel changes. But until you get your system sort of more used to doing fruits and greens, you won't really notice the effect because that's just the modality you're in. That's like a state you're always in. But once you start going, like, getting your body used to doing fruits and greens, it will take you up higher. So whenever you return back to other foods, it will feel like a step down and you will notice it. Well,
absolutely.
that's what I noticed.
Um, I think the only reason why I think some people struggle with that concept, not because like I recognize that what you're doing is a step towards the ideal, but I
Hmm.
know that some people when they go that route, they might find a disturbance in their digestive system, just like you were saying, and they're like, well, now I don't feel as regular anymore and I need the grains in order for it to go back to the way it was. And
Hmm.
so those people struggle, and I know I've experienced that too when I've done like that whole fruit day. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? And
Hmm.
so, what do you say to those people who might struggle that way? They're like not liking their digestion, trying to get even more mucusless.
I would just say to maybe slow down on the transition or modify it. Sometimes people can't handle raw fruits as much as they can cooked fruits. So even like Arnold Ehret, talks about this in his book, The Mucusless Diet Healing System, that, cooking your fruits is less aggressive. And in some cases, I think that some people just have to sort of go through that period where it may not be comfortable, but your system has been so used to eating, what Arnold Ehret calls the foods of civilization, all the things that we would have only been able to eat after we mastered the use of fire. That in the process of consuming fruits and greens, it's going to release a lot of toxins or wastes or acids that are in the system, and it might be uncomfortable. But I would say just either slow down in your transition, do like something like raw till four, and just gradually clean up the dinner meal to slowly just transition the dinner meal. If you're eating like heavy, like processed foods, move to just whole foods like grains and beans and have a
So what if
salad
they
with that.
already eat that raw till four with, say, rice, and they're like, okay, now I'm just
Mm.
getting rid of the rice, and then that's where they find the issue. So they're like pretty clean. It's just getting rid of the rice is hard. on their
Yeah,
digestion.
yeah, I would just say, for some individuals, they just have to go through that period. If they can focus on potatoes and sweet potatoes and squash in the meantime and get their body used to that, and then sort of just work those foods out gradually, like lowering the potatoes in time and just having more of the salad and the veggie portions. But everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to have everybody's transition looks different.
Mm,
Whenever I've looked at the mucusless diet healing system, the people in there, some individuals can handle certain things that I can't handle
hmm.
along their transition. So it's gonna look different for a lot of
Okay.
people. But I would say don't give up. A diet of fruits and greens is our species specific diet. It is the highest level. And no matter how slow you go, just keep transitioning.
Yeah. And is mucusless the kind of the end, or do you go beyond that and you go like raw then?
So that yeah,
Raw mucusless.
that's a good one. So even though the stress on the mucusless diet isn't being 100% raw, uh, the highest level of a mucusless diet is raw.
Okay.
It's just raw fruits and greens, basically. So, but it's more important to get to that mucusless stage in Arnold Ehret's sort of viewpoint, than it is to be like a raw foodist, but you're still consuming a lot of like nuts and seeds and lots of avocados, and that can cause issues in that end. So,
That's right.
mm,
I know that Arnold Era is your, it seems like he's your, you hold him up on not a pedestal exactly, but he's
yeah, pretty
your
much, pretty
person,
much.
right? Are there any other doctors or experts in this kind of field that you look up to?
I like Doug Graham.
Okay.
I met Doug Graham whenever I went to the UK Fruit Festival, and he's just yeah, his information is incredible. He's got tons of wisdom in regards to a raw food lifestyle. I do listen to a lot of Freely the Banana Girl as
Yeah.
well. She Freely the Banana Girl and Arnold Ehret were like the two main influences at the very beginning of my journey. Like I stumbled upon Freely's videos just randomly on YouTube, I think yeah, she was very popular in the
Just
vegan sort of,
everywhere.
yeah, she's everywhere. So you couldn't really
Hmm.
miss her, especially those videos of her eating lots of bananas and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, Freely, Doug, Arnold Derritt, but I basically listen to a lot of people in the fruit-based movement. Misfit Vegan, yeah, I watch some of her
Oh
content.
yeah.
Yeah, eat fruit, be cute.
Yep. That's so cute.
So yeah, quite a lot of people.
That's awesome. Uh, well, with the whole idea of mucusless, I know I agree with you where human diet should be, end goal. Obviously, there's a lot of data or information to support that.
Mhm.
So I don't have anything against that at all. And I don't know that I have anything against what I'm about to ask you, but
Mhm.
I have seen some skepticism when it comes to the mucus part of
Mhm.
the whole thing, the whole message. People would say, well, that part's a little, I don't know if this is the right way to say it. They might say, oh, the mucus part of it's BS. There's nothing to it. There's no, I mean, whatever mucus you have in you is just part of the natural part of being human.
Yeah.
So, what do you say to that kind of stuff?
Well, I know for me personally, whenever I consume certain foods, I get way more congested, way more sinus eruptions, way more like, coughs and sneezes. And some people find this with dairy products. Some people find this with grain products. Some people find this if they're eating even foods that are really spicy. So the body is reacting to some form of like an irritant. Well, Arnold Ehret believes that like, these foods break down into or leave behind waste in the system that the body has to then produce mucus to try to protect itself, from the acids and the toxins and help it eliminate from any orifice that it can. And sometimes all these toxins come out in the skin and you get skin issues like I had in the past and what actually brought me to a plant-based lifestyle. So yeah, I believe it. Everyone is dealing with mucus. Everyone is getting sick with colds and flus. So it's something that we universally all experience. So to me, it makes the most sense that he titled it the mucusless diet healing system because everyone can look at that and say, yeah, that's me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's me on the regular. So
I absolutely have felt that effect when it came to dairy, especially back in the day. And I get that to some extent every time I have some chocolate or something.
yeah.
Um, and I've noticed since I've increased the amount of fruit I've had, especially this fall time, I haven't been getting sick. Or if I feel that, that little tickle you might get, and you're
hmm
like, okay, I'm going to be sick in the morning. And then I'm not sick. And I'm just thinking, this is incredible.
Yeah,
Just feels like a powerful tool.
it freaks me out sometimes because whenever you're practicing a mucusless diet, any time you're sick, you could just say, you know what, I'm just gonna live on fruits and greens. Like say you're eating like lots of starches and stuff in the evening, like normal, and then like you feel like a bit of a sore throat. There's times I'll just be like, well, okay, I'm just gonna for the next 2 to 3 days, I'm gonna live on fruits and greens and see what happens, and like it goes away. And it just blows my mind that we can experiment with this in real time with any illness, the same way Arnold did in his books, where he would literally try to make himself sick just to like get on the
Well,
you
that's
know
so
get on
weird.
get on the mucusless diet just to like sort of test it out like a scientist, like oh how fast did I heal this time, so yeah, it's incredible.
So I guess I need to read into what it is that they have concerns about because obviously we've felt that with our own bodies. So
Yeah.
on the other side of things, the other thing I've been seeing people debunk, and I was just curious to get your opinion on it, is
Mhm.
you mentioned Misfit Vegan. She's been promoting the debunking of B12, and what are your thoughts on that?
That honestly, that blew my mind, just like learning about that.
Yeah.
I still take B12, but it's something that I'm open to learning about. I don't think we should be closed off to information, even if like you disagree with something. I think it's good to just look into it. I want to get that book that she was talking about. I can't remember the name
It's
of it,
only a
but
dollar. It's a
yeah,
dollar on an ebook. So yeah, I got
yeah,
it and I've read some of it so far. It's been interesting.
Okay. Yeah, like I don't want to judge the book or anything until I actually like read it and see what it's about. But up until this point, and to continuing, I take B12. I take the sublingual B12 of methylcobalamin,
Mhm.
and I find that I can only really take sublinguals. I don't really like the pills. The pills don't agree with me. But yeah, I'm interested in looking into it. I don't really have an opinion on it at the moment. I just say, do your research, everybody. Do your
Yeah,
research and go from there.
that's where I'm at. I like the idea that I'm not closed off either. I'm like, okay, there's a lot of reasons to question everything that we
Mm,
are being told, and if this is another thing to research, then it's another thing to research. I am personally have been terrible about taking B12 the entire time I've been vegan. Um, I think it's in a lot of the processed foods I eat, so I just can't help but get it. I'm a little more careful with my kids because I've always been told to be, but I don't like taking pills either. So
mm. No, the
I think
pills
that's
don't
why
agree
I
with
always
me.
try to go for the ideal diet, even if I got to take baby steps to get there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay. So why are
Mm.
you on this pursuit of going towards the ideal human diet?
That's a deep question.
It is.
I want to feel as good as I possibly can while I'm here on Earth. And I want to also help raise the consciousness of the planet. Imagine going your whole life not knowing that you can live on fruits and greens and like you're like 60 or 70 or something like that. And like you've never done something like this and you've never experienced how good you can feel in your body. To me, that's awful. That's like
Yeah.
robbing someone of one of the greatest feelings and experience that they could have while on Earth. And it was their birthright because no species needs to cook their food or they don't need a tractor or pots and pans just to be able to exist on this plane. Um but that's where we're at. So for me, it's heavily down to just wanting to feel as good as I possibly can. And, with that energy and that vitality, help inspire the world to transition and to come on this path. Because I really don't think that we can solve I don't really think that we can solve a lot of the issues humans face without people returning back to a diet based on fruits and greens. Because yeah, if your health is compromised in any way, that's going to affect the mind, and then that's also going to affect your actions, and then how you basically deal with the world is going to be colored a lot differently whenever you're not uh in a great place health wise, or you're not as vital as you could be.
Hmm.
So that's part of the reason. Have you heard much about biophotons?
I haven't. What is that?
No?
No. You're
Well,
gonna give me some more homework, I feel like.
well, biophotons are the stored sunlight energy that's stored in the nucleus of the cells of plants, of raw fruits and greens.
Okay.
Basically stored sunlight in the plants. And a guy called Fritz Albert Popp, he discovered through this photography called Krillin photography that these plants are emanating these light beams. So he discovered that biophotons, and he found that the more biophotons a living organism has, the better their cells communicate with each other. So
Oh,
this is
interesting.
yeah, massively, and this is one of the reasons why I believe whenever people are on like raw food diets, why they experience such amazing sort of transformations, amazing healing, because their cells are just communicating a lot more efficiently. So anytime there's an issue or a problem in the system, they can actually, communicate with each other, kind of like a city of people who are actually have proper signal on their phones versus a city of people that have like zero bars on their
Right.
phone. They're trying to like, hello? Like no one's picking up. So that's something to definitely research about raw like a raw food lifestyle. And I do believe that the more biophotons you consume, the higher your own cellular vibration is, and the better you can positively affect people around you. Like they say whenever you do something you love and you've got like good energy, like you affect other people positively. And I can
Hmm.
imagine with someone having high levels of biophoton, they're just radiating, beaming sunlight energy. They're just gonna have a better mood and better effect on people around them. So
Absolutely. I think I've seen those kinds of photos. If it's one you're talking about where they might take pictures of the raw living foods
mhm.
versus dead cooked foods, and you can see it's like shiny, I guess, or
Yeah,
sparkly.
basically, yeah. And what do people say about like people who go on like a raw food lifestyle for like 30
They've
days
got a
in a row?
glow.
You gotta glow.
Hmm.
It's literally the sunlight energy just shining through you.
Is
Oh.
that, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the stuff. So I just still watch freely, but she keeps
Mhm.
talking about her sun crystals. Of course, she's talking about sugar. That's the first thing that came to mind when you were talking about it. But obviously, it's different stuff. Yeah.
Sun crystal.
My gosh. Is,
Love it.
well, I mean, this is kind of along those topics. Is there anything outside of food that you wish people knew about?
I think your social connections are really important, or like just being able to just socialize with other human beings. Just, we are like a fruit-based species by default, but we're also like a social species. So I think that alongside just taking care of your diet, just having a lifestyle where you can just sort of engage and sort of like interact with people, I think that's very nourishing to the soul. Um, I know that because of what's happened a couple of years ago. A lot more people were more isolated.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think socializing is really important part of being healthy. Um, Aside from that, I would say just, working out and engaging in things that can help reduce your stress. I personally like meditation.
Okay.
Meditation is something that I've been doing for many, many years. And yeah, it just helps me sort of relax and get more present to the moment. So I think if you can find something that you enjoy and it sort of calms you down, that's a really good thing to sort of try to adopt.
Yeah, for me that's crocheting apparently. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
What is it?
Um,
Sorry?
and crocheting, I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff I
Oh,
post.
right, okay. I don't think so.
Yeah, those are fun projects. But onto your community, do you have one that's in person, or do you rely a lot on social media for that community as well?
Sorry, what do you, sorry, could you just repeat that?
Yes. So as far as community goes, do you have
Mhm.
in-person, I don't know, groups, or do you rely a lot on social media for that community?
Oh, mainly, well, like I've got like I know like, vegans and stuff like that are here where I'm at. It's very rare to come across that many people who are doing like a fruit-based diet or mucusless diet. I did know one guy here. Well, I know two people now from going to the um UK Fruit Festival. I met another person that lives in Ireland. But yeah, it's quite rare to find someone who is like doing a lifestyle like this. Vegan more common. But generally speaking, I discovered this lifestyle mainly from online and talking to people online and watching lots of videos online, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, hundreds of hours of
Same.
videos of content. Yeah, so yeah, mainly online for
That's
that.
good though. I feel like I don't feel as weird anymore because of the
Mhm.
online community. You know how they always say that you're um, or the combination of the three or five closest friends that you have, and none of my friends eat this way. None of them are
Mm.
even vegan. So to have that online community has been huge for me.
Would there be like a local meetup where you're at or anything like
Oh
that?
gosh, not like this though. They're
Yeah.
like they like their junk food stuff. So
Oh, okay.
that's
So
the
you'd
kind
be
of vegans
like,
we have.
hey guys, we should be eating watermelons.
We might have like the vegan runners group or something, but
Uh,
we do not have health food vegans. Not, I mean, unless it's more starch-based style.
fair.
Yeah,
I suppose you could create something, I guess.
I suppose it is cold though. I mean, I know nobody
Mm.
wants to eat fruit right now. It was below freezing this morning. I don't know how it is for you
Oh
guys right
wow.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite chilly here too. Mm.
So, given all the values you've presented to us,
Mhm.
what does a day in the life look like for you as far as food, exercise, sleep? Like, what do you do on an ideal day?
Okay, so on an ideal day, I'm going to the gym for sure, doing strength training, um, or I'm doing cardio, or I'd like to go, just going for a walk or something like that, but outside of the gym. But ideal day definitely includes a gym, and that's like, maybe 5 days a week I go to the gym. And I come home and I normally have breakfast at around 10 o'clock. I don't like eating breakfast too early. I know some people can get up and just like, 8:30, they can just have breakfast. But yeah, I like to leave it till about 10 o'clock. And I normally at that point have a big smoothie, like 2,000, almost 3,000 sometimes, massive
Dang.
smoothie. Most people probably would be scared at the idea of doing that. But
I've seen you have those two jugs. Do you
yeah,
have both of those for breakfast, or is one saved for dinner later?
no, both of them.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, both of them. Two 1 liters. So I've
Okay.
got a 2 liter jug smoothie. Uh and yeah, normally dates, berries, greens. I love green smoothies with like bananas and dates and stuff, like kale, spinach, coriander sometimes. But that's like my staple. It's always a smoothie. Literally like 99% of the time it's a smoothie, first meal.
Mhm.
And then dinner time. like I won't like because the smoothie is so big that like sort of brunch meal is so big, I won't feel hungry for 5, 6, 7 hours after that. And then dinner rolls round, and at the moment, because I'm doing just mucusless and I have been doing just fruits and greens for the past, well over 2 months, it's just a big giant salad. Big giant salad, normally romaine. I really love cucumber noodles, zucchini noodles. Really, really love it. And I always wondered why a lot of raw foodists, have these like zoodles, but it's so good. It's
Hmm.
so
I
good.
agree.
And I'll just have some steamed vegetables on top of that. Could be broccoli, could be kale, could be pak choi, could be mushrooms, cooked up with like onions and a savory tomato sauce. Sometimes I make a sweet sauce if I'm trying to, boost the calories. I'll just make something with like 10 dates in there, some tomatoes and lemon juice, and some mixed herbs. Pour that over the dish. And yeah, that's normally me. That's
Awesome.
that's that's normally a day in a life at the moment.
So my husband just told me he wants to start eating the fruit breakfast.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I'm excited about it because he wants to feel good too. I mean, he's not
Awesome.
unhealthy or anything, but I mean, that's relative. Unhealthy compared to you. um, so it sounds like very massive smoothies for
Mhm.
a man, then. You
Yeah.
said 3,000 calories for you. How many
Yeah,
dates does that look like?
oh, that's normally like a kilo of dates.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Or so I normally average around maybe 800 to a kilo or 700 grams to a kilo of dates.
So as
Um
far as shopping goes for you, you must order those online then?
no, I just go to a local like sort of ethnic store here, and
Okay.
I probably buy like 60 kilograms or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's the struggle. You should see my counters now. I don't usually have this many bananas, but I've been buying a lot more in preparation, and I'm not used to it. So
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
still
did I
not
say
used
60?
to.
I mean like sorry, I meant like 10.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah. 60 is a lot. Yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
must freeze those, right?
Yeah, no, it's probably like 10. I don't know where I said I got 60 from, like around 10 kilos. Yeah.
Okay. I
Mm.
guess I will. I just ordered two more boxes. So what is it?
Mm.
22 pounds. Yeah. Because my husband wants to have some fruit breakfast. So I'm hoping it'll stick, especially with
Yeah.
the winter time. And it'll be nice to have the motivation back and forth.
And
So
fruit for breakfast is a good way in
it
to it.
is.
You do miss your like warmth, like if he's used to having like oatmeal and stuff like that, you do kind of sometimes miss like that warm feeling. But I normally find that in a short space of time, you start to get used to the light, high vibe feeling.
Yeah. Actually, he would be going from probably eating very little.
Hmm.
And then I guess his first meal might be starch meals in the afternoon. Yeah. So he would be going back to eating breakfast in some
All
ways.
right, okay.
Yeah. Um, he's an athlete, so you
Fair,
would think
you're both fit. You're both into your fitness.
oh yeah, he's a lot more fit than me. He was on
Oh,
Plant Built. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
what's
They're
that?
a vegan strong team is what they were known for. He was
Oh,
on
right,
that their
okay.
team a few years, and so he
Oh,
was
fair.
doing their CrossFit competitions with them. So I actually have my old one of my oldest videos on here from many, many years ago. It's an interview with him, and he is just as awkward on the camera as I am. So,
You're pretty good.
yeah. We're getting there. It's I mean it's a lot more practice, right?
Mm.
So I know some of the answer, but what are your goals moving forward? Maybe there's a book coming out at some point.
Well, yes, I've got like a book called Fruits and Greens that I'm sort of finalizing. It's pretty much done. But I'm gonna be releasing that. I don't know if you were talking about other goals in terms of like fitness or
Yeah, all goals.
nutrition.
Love to
I
hear it all.
really want to get a sub 20. I really want to get a sub 25K. It has been a challenge for me. Um, I think my closest at the moment was like 21:30 or something like that.
Okay. What are you
Um,
doing to work towards that one?
Mainly just I'm trying to do it in such a way where I'm not running as much because I just want to see
Oh, you're just
how
like
li
me.
how little can I actually run and accomplish this. So I got to 21 basically 21:30 just by doing one spin sesh and one run. Like a
Okay.
one spin session, one run. So I probably could, hit it a lot quicker if I just like had a better structured sort of program or maybe
Yeah.
like
Do you do
overshadowed by like a
do you do
Jedi.
sprints at all or intervals?
No, like no, I don't do. Yeah,
So
a
the
lot of
any
people say you should do that. You should do it.
every time I've gotten faster on my endurance pace, it was because I was doing sprints and interval training. I would do both like the 20-second one where you get lots of rest between.
Okay.
But then there's the other ones where you're running 400, 800 half miles.
Yeah.
And obviously you're not sprinting those, you're just going at a harder pace.
Yeah.
But if you throw like one of those in a week, so you've got
I'll
your
probably
two
smash it.
sessions,
I'll
I
give you
think
my
you
code.
would.
Give you my
Yeah.
code.
I mean, so I don't know if you watched that video I did on my running. I agree. I think running is actually pretty bad for you.
Mm,
And by you, I mean humans as a whole. I don't think most of us are built to be runners, and it's a high rate of injury sport.
massive, yeah.
So
I got
you, I
injured
know, have you've done a ton of walking. I know you've done those challenges. What is it, like 20K steps or something like that?
20, 30. Yeah, 30 is
Oh,
brutal. 30 is brutal. But I know
that's a
someone.
lot.
There's a lady here that I know, vegan. But I remember, like, I told her I did this like 30K steps, like, every day for a week. I was all like proud of myself. And she was like, that's just like my regular, you know what I mean? That's like my everyday,
People are
So, but
insane.
she's a beast in terms of like walking, absolute monster.
Well,
But
you're already doing that. That's like number one, I think. And then otherwise, minimalistic and just be smart about your running days. And I
yeah,
think you'll get it. So it looks like we
thank you.
probably have a minute left.
Sure.
Um, is there anything that you would like to share? I feel like a lot of people probably might know both of us, but I know there's some people that might not. So anything you'd like to share with those that might not know who you are?
I don't even know.
It's like putting you on the spot, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like
Um,
you got 1 minute.
what
Share something about
what's the
yourself.
main takeaway from your work? Because you share a lot online.
I would say weight loss doesn't have to be difficult. You can lose weight in a way where you don't have to starve yourself, calorically restrict. You can eat abundantly and be healthy and get all the desired end result in terms of like your body goals. I would just love to see more people just adopting clean, whole food, plant-based.
So unfortunately, we got cut off at the end there, but I so appreciate Clinton coming on and having a conversation with me and just being a real sport about our time limit and all the questions I had for him. So once again, thank you to Clinton, and maybe we'll be able to do it again sometime.